Hello everyone and good afternoon. My name is Jake Cohen. I'm the Marketing Coordinator here at Network Concepts. I want to thank you all for joining for today's webinar. This is Outlook 2016, Tips to Save You Time and Stay Organized. Today I'm going to show you a few tips from using the Clutter Tool to delaying and scheduling messages. This is our third and actually our last Microsoft Summer School webinar. So if you have missed the last two, they are available on our events page. And yeah, I would suggest checking those out as well. So I just have one quick housekeeping rule before I begin. And that is, if you guys have any questions, please write those or type those into the chat, and I will be able to see them, and I'm going to bring them up at the end of the presentation. All right, so why don't we begin? So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the Tell Me feature. So this is actually located on the top of your screen, right up there. And this feature presents commands and options for pretty much everyday tasks. You can save time just by using that instead of using the Outlook ribbon. So I have a few examples here, but let's just look at this bottom one right down here. So I entered in print and right into that Tell Me feature right up there, and I have print select, print preview. So I can actually just go right there and do an option instead of going to our ribbon over here. It makes it a lot easier. All right, let's move on. Our next thing I'm going to discuss is the Smart Lookup. This is actually in the same spot as we were before, but this is basically your fact checker, my apologies, and the way you can actually explore terms in your documents. So, for example, let's say if I send you an email and I have something in the word of WannaCry, I would hope that you guys would know what that is since we've talked about it a lot. But you can actually type that in and do a smart lookup, and on the side over here, you would actually get some definition, and you actually might even get a wiki page, which is pretty cool, and you don't even have to leave Outlook at all, and you can just quickly see that. It's pretty cool. Let's move on. All right, so now I'm going to talk about the Clutter Tool. Just an FYI about the Clutter Tool, if you have Office 2016 and you don't have an Office 365 subscription, you're not going to have access to this Clutter Tool, which is kind of a bummer because it is kind of cool. And basically what this Clutter Tool does is it prioritizes your mail and basically puts on a lower priority of any messages that it seems that you ignore. So really, like, how it works is the Clutter Tool is going to analyze your emails based on your behavior, and it's, you know, the messages that you ignore, they're going to put those into a folder called Clutter, and you can look at those a little later. All right, that is the Clutter Tool. Pretty cool. Let's move on. And I'm sure you guys have done this, and I'm sure you're aware of this, but with Outlook, it's a lot easier to attach documents that you recently worked on. As you can see in this example over here, insert, attach, and in this example, there's sales numbers, projects, support, all right there. So these were probably projects that I've been working on, and I can just, boom, quickly put that in there. It saves a lot of time. Boom. All right, I just wanted to highlight a few other things I'm going to quickly talk about. I'm going to go into more of the ribbon. I'm going to go into how to do a blind carbon copy, a BCC email. I'm going to do some personalized signatures. Going to show you how to delay and schedule emails. I'm going to talk a little bit about color categories. We're going to show you how to ignore and clean up conversations, how to do quick and auto text, how to adjust the size of Outlook and the reading. We're going to do condition formats, how to use your search, quick access toolbar, and the last thing was just a suggestion from somebody that came in, just a little bit about printing. So that's going to be the last thing I'm going to touch on. All right, so let's talk about the Outlook ribbon. Obviously, you have four little things here. You have your home, your send and receive tab, your folder tab, and your view. So these help you group your controls and which ones function better with one another. So, I mean, for instance, when you're creating an email, you have all these, your reply all, your forward. You can actually minimize the ribbon if you don't even like it at all. You can just double click on that, and that thing will go away. You can actually customize your ribbon as well. Put the commands in order of that which you choose. Just a little FYI out there. All right, so let's say you're sending an email and you don't want the recipient to see the name of another. So you want to send a blind carbon copy email. So how you would do this, I actually use the Tell Me feature for this one. And I just put that in there, BCC. It gives me the BCC field. I just click that, and now I can be able to send those emails. It's going to stay that way. So there's nothing else you need to do. You just have to click on that field, and now you can send BCC emails. Pretty cool. All right, let's move on to setting up a signature. Just so you know, if you are using 365, if you're just using regular Outlook 2016, or if you're using the web app, you can actually create a different signature in each one. Just a little FYI. So how we can do that is we're going to hit home, or we're going to hit new email, or we're going to hit signature, and we can now hit new. And we're going to have a nice little text box that we can put in whatever we choose to put in there. We can usually, if you really wanted to, you can put even an image in there. I would suggest that. But yeah, and then you're going to hit save. Pretty simple. Let's move on from there. Let's go into delay and scheduling emails. So with Outlook, your emails are going to send immediately once you hit send. But let's say you want to delay a message. So here's how you're going to do that. You're going to hit new email. You're going to hit in your options, and there's going to be a thing called delay delivery. In that, there's going to be do not deliver before, and then that's where you'll put your date and time. So click that, enter in the time, and then close and send. So when you send that, the message is going to remain in the outbox folder until the delivered time. So let's say you change your mind and you do not want to send it. You want to send it immediately. Well, you're just going to have to do the same exact thing. You're going to go into your outbox, you're going to open the delayed message, and you're going to click options, you're going to hit delay delivery again, and you're just going to uncheck that do not deliver, close, and then send. And that will send it immediately. All right, let's talk a little bit about color categories. This is a great way to get organized with Outlook. You can actually use these for certain messages. You can use these for contacts as well. So let's say that you have a high priority email. I mean, you could color code it. You can actually even just do high priority email. It probably would be best to do that. But you can actually, if you choose to do it that way, you can do it that way. There's also other options you can do. If you have to follow up on an email, you can do that follow up too. But then again, whatever you choose, this is just another way that you can stay organized. If there's a low priority, maybe you want to make it a yellow or something like that. I don't know, all different ways to do that. But how you're going to do that is you will just click on that message, you'll right click, and then you'll hit categories, and you can pick which color you'd prefer. Very simple. All right, let's look at how to ignore conversations and how to clean up our conversations. So just like an FYI, so everyone knows exactly what I'm talking about, a conversation is basically an email thread. It's basically a message that I send to you, you send to me, that we just started a conversation. These are the email threads, and they continue. There could be a numerous amounts, and it can get pretty heavy in email. So this is why this might come in handy for you. If you want to use the ignore command, this is going to move the whole conversation and any future message that would arrive in the conversation to the deleted items. So if you really wanted to do that, that's going to send there. I mean, I guess you just don't really like me that much, so you're going to send it all there, and that's fine. There's also the cleanup conversation. So this is just going to remove any redundant messages in the conversation, and it's going to move those into deleted items, but it's going to keep the most recent one in the conversation. So again, this is just another way to keep organized. I know we all have a lot of emails that come in. This is a great tool to use, but it can be like a double-edged sword. So if you need to go back and try to find a certain email, well, you know where it is, but it's in the deleted folder, but that's just that. So I would suggest using it, but just be careful and know which conversations you're cleaning up. All right, so let's look at the AutoText. And AutoText is just a way to reuse content or previous email headers or anything that we want to reuse again. So you can actually do that by, you're going to actually click on the let's create the content. So like here's my example here. We're going to hit the quick parts, or I hit quick parts and then put it in here. So I'm going to save it in here. It's going to be in the auto text, and I'm going to hit save selection to auto text gallery. So now I can reuse that in the next email that I choose. It's pretty simple right there. And then you can, save whatever you like. Maybe you can want to save your whole email. You can do that as well. All right, let's move on. This is, so let's say, I think everyone kind of knows that you can change the way your outlet looks. I kind of like it the same, but that's just me. But maybe you want to play around with it and see how it looks. You can actually see your reading. You can change it to show up at the bottom, and you can change it to the right. I personally keep them on the right, but here's how this would look if you wanted to put it on the bottom. And again, you can also change the way it displays. Everyone should know right down here that this is your percentage is, I believe, should be standard at a 100, but if you wanted to change it and bump it up and just see a little bit more, that's how you would do it. Or actually, you can just hit Control. And if you're using a mouse, you can zoom in, scroll in a little bit. Oops. I was actually doing it. I kind of messed up. Here, hold on. And that's just one way you can change the little sizes. So make it customizable for yourself. All right, let's get into condition formatting. This might be a good idea for all of you for incoming messages, or, there's other different rules that we can go through, and I'll kind of show that a little bit. This is you can change the font and color of incoming messages, or again, I'm going to go over a few other rules. So here's how we're going to do that. We're going to hit our view, we're going to be in the view ribbon, by the way, and then we're going to view settings. We're going to hit the condition formatting. And here's our rules. Here's just some standard rules. So we can change our font to unread messages. We can also do unread group headers. submitted but not send emails, expired emails, overdue emails, messages in other outlooks, just for example. So, and we can just change our font. We change our font down here. Just hit font. You can change it to right there, whatever we would like. Color as well. Just another way to kind of stay organized and see which messages you'd like to do. Like, I mean, I would suggest maybe just doing it for your unread, just to see how you like it there. All right, let's move on. That's how you do some incoming messages with condition formats. We're going to talk a little bit about the instance search. I know you guys probably know a lot about that. If you're looking for a certain email, this is your best bet to find it. You're going to look through your current mailbox. So you'll just type, you can either type someone's name or a keyword, and that would be the best. But if you really would like to, I would suggest using an advanced search and just hit Control Shift F, and you can actually just search. If you actually know the subject field, it'd be a lot easier. You can just type that in and hit Find Now. If you actually know from the person that it's sent to or who it's from, that would be a great one to do that. You'd find your email a lot easier with the advanced search. All right, let us move on from there. And this is our quick access toolbar. So this is above our Outlook ribbon over here. As you can see, I kind of have about 3 icons already over here. It looks like I have a send and receive, an undo, and a block. But maybe I'd like to add a few others, maybe just to make it a little bit easier for myself, so I don't have to go back into the Outlook ribbon and click on a few other ones. So I'm going to hit that little bar down there. I'm going to hit More Commands, and I'm going to get into all these other commands that I can actually put on there. There's account settings, address book, delete. There's a lot of different ones. New email if I really wanted to put it there. Print options, reply all. You get the picture. And I would just add them here. So here's my customized quick access toolbar right as of right now. And you can see those icons match these ones up top here. So once that's done, I'm going to hit OK. And I can see all these guys over here. Pretty simple, pretty easy. Why don't we move on? And actually, I think we're getting really, really close to the end. And I think this is the last slide of the PowerPoints, guys. And this was suggested from somebody, so I figured I'd bring it up. This is how to actually just print an Outlook, which is kind of very simple, but I just figured I'd just bring it up since somebody asked. You're just going to hit File and Print. That's pretty much really it, but if you wanted to do some certain settings, you can actually hit Print Preview, and you can change the style, and you can change the pages, and you can change the way it looks. Actually, I'm pretty sure you can even change the font as well, so you like. So that's pretty much that. And I believe that is it, guys. So let's get more done with Outlook. All right, I would suggest going back to look at our Office 365, because I do talk a little bit about some tips in Outlook there as well, and how to use Office 365 with Outlook. So that's a great little tool there. So that is it. And I will take questions as of right now, guys. Let's see. Anything in my chat box? I don't see any questions, guys. Hope everything's all right. All right, well, if you guys do have any questions, I have my email address here at jake@networkconceptsinc.com. Please send me an email if you need a little bit more help with Outlook. I'll definitely help you out. If you want more information on those other webinars, send me a message. I'll send you a link. What is it? This is our last one. This is our last Microsoft Summer School webinar. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for attending. and have a good rest of the evening. Thank you.